Hey guys, and welcome to Command Tower. We make EDH Deck Techs. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, today's deck is a Thalisse Reverent Medium deck. Thalisse is a 3/4 that says, at the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying, or X number of tokens that you created this turn. Now this counts for any tokens, it doesn't have to be creatures. So the plan is just make lots of tokens, make lots of flying, just attack for a lot of damage. The total price of the deck is $26.50. This is according to TCG Player, does not include lands. So, let's get right into the deck. First off, we got Ramp. Prying Blade, equip creature shoots +1/+0. Whenever the creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Ruthless Knave, sacrifice a creature, create 2 treasure tokens. Sacrifice 3 treasures, draw a card. Mindstone, taps for Cutlass, pay 1, tap it, sacrifice it, draw a card. Unstable Obelix, taps with the Cutlass, pay 7, tap it, sacrifice it, destroy target permanent. Commander Sphere, taps for 1 mana of any color, and you can sacrifice it to draw a card. Mana Geode, when it enters battlefield, you scry 1, and taps for 1 mana of any color. Skyclave Relic, has kicker for 3. Indestructible, when it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 tap tokens that are copies of it. It taps for 1 mana of any color. And the tokens that come in will get triggers from Thalisse, so you'll get extra 1/1 spirits. Urgolem's Eye, taps for 2 generic. Firemind Vessel, enters tapped, and taps for 2 mana of any colors. Sisay's Ring, taps for 2 colors. Then we got one-time tokens. These are cards that make tokens once, but don't do it again. Hunted Witness, when it dies, create 1/1 with lifelink. Chocolate Spirits, Convoke, with 3 1/1s with flying out to the battlefield. Geist Honored Monk, Vigilance, its power and toughness equal the number of creatures you control. When it enters battlefield, put 2 1/1s with flying out to the battlefield. Birth and Latest, it's a saga. So the first part is search alive her planes and put it into your hand. Then create a 0/4 wall. Then gain 2 life. Promise of Bunray, whenever a creature you control dies, sacrifice it and create 4 1/1s. Start, create 2 1/1s with Vigilance. Then finish, has Aftermath, so you can only play it from your graveyard. An additional cost to cast it, sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature. Gather the Townsfolk, put 2 1/1s onto the battlefield, and it has Fateful Hour if you have 5 or less life. Put 5 of those tokens onto the battlefield. Raise the Alarm, create 2 1/1s. Queen's Commission, create 2 1/1s with lifelink. Call to the Feast, create 3 1/1s with lifelink. Spectral Procession, put 3 1/1s onto the battlefield with flying. And Lingering Souls, create 2 1/1 creatures with flying, and it has Flashback for 2. Then we've got Constant Tokens. These are cards that make tokens several times. Blaring Recruiter, you can pay 3 to create a 1/1. Teo, you have Hexproof, and if you -2 him, you create a 0/3 white wall, and he has 5 loyalty. Rite of Belzenlock, create 2 0/1 black cleric creature tokens for the first 2 parts, and then create a 6/6 black demon for the 3rd part, but then at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to sacrifice another creature, and if you don't, the creature does 6 damage to you. Requiem Angel, flying, whenever another non-spirit creature dies, put a 1/1 spirit creature onto the battlefield. First response, at the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, create 1/1. Hidden Stockpile, Revolt, at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield, create 2 1/1s, and if you sacrifice a creature and pay 1, you scry 1. Piper of the Swarm, rats you control have Menace, and if you pay 2 and tap it, create a 1/1 rat, and if you pay 4 and tap it and sacrifice 3 rats, gain control of target creature. Second ability might not help too much, but getting rats onto the battlefield every turn will be helpful. Golden Guardian, Defender, pay 2, and it fights another target creature you control. When it dies this turn, return it to battlefield transformed under your control. So basically, when it dies, it's going to turn into this land, and the land taps for 2 mana of any 1 color, but if you pay 4 and tap it, creates a 4/4 colorless golem. So you can just keep making more tokens. Then we've got Pump It Up. With all these tiny creatures, we're going to need them, make them a little bit bigger. Intangible Virtue, creature tokens you control get 1/1 Vigilance. Glorious Anthem, creatures you control get +1/+1. Dictative Heliod, Flash, creatures you control get +2/+2. And Ethereal Absolution, creatures you control get +1/+1. and creatures your opponents control get -1/-1. If you pay 4, exile target card from your opponent's graveyard, and if it was a creature card, you create a 1/1 spirit with flying. Then we've got death triggers. With all these creatures, they're going to die at some point, and you can get triggers off them dying. Conrad, basically whenever a creature is put into a graveyard, or a creature leaves your graveyard, deals 1 damage to your opponent. If you pay 2, each player mills a card. Bastion of Remembrance. When it enters battlefield, create a 1/1. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Zulu Park Cutthroat. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then we got ways to win. These are basically the best ways to make lots of tokens in your deck. Army of the Damned. Create 13 tapped 2/2 black zombies. It has flashback for 10. Devout Invocation. Tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Put a 4/4 white angel for each creature tapped. Increasing Devotion. Put 5 1/1s onto the battlefield. And if it was cast from your graveyard, create 10 instead. Joseph S. Has kicker for 6. When it enters battlefield, if it was kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombies with menace. Stormhired. Create X 1/1 white Pegasus with creatures with flying, and X is your life total. With all these, you're just going to make a ton of tokens, and if you have your commander out, you're just going to make even more. Then we have card draw, which is Cauldron. Pay 2 and sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Vampiric Rites, just pay 2, sacrifice a creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Valid Soothsayer, same thing, sacrifice a creature, draw a card if you pay 2. Carnage Altar, pay 3, sacrifice a creature, draw a card. Bankrupt in Blood, it's additional cost to cast it, sacrifice 2 creatures and draw 3. Mask of Memory, whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you can draw 2 cards if you do discard a card, which should be easier because you're making a bunch of 1/1s with flying. Mentor of the Meek, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 if you do draw a card. Damnable Pact, target player draws 6 cards and loses 6 life. Promise of Power, choose 1, you draw 5 cards and lose 5 life. Or put a black demon with flying into play. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand as a token comes into play. And it has Entwined for 4, so you can choose both if you paid that cost. So you can also get some tokens off that. Tamio's Journal. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate, so make a clue token. And tap it and sacrifice 3 clues, search your library for a card, and put that card into your hand. This will also make spirits. And Idol of Oblivion. You can tap to draw a card, but only if you create a token this turn. You can pay 8 and tap it and sacrifice it. Make it 10/10. Then we have Removal, that also makes tokens. Bake into a Pie, destroy target creature, create a food token. Contract Killing, destroy target creature, create 2 treasure tokens. Corpse Hatch, destroy target non-black creature, put 2 0/1 creatures that have sacrifice it, add a generic mana to your mana pool. Harsh Sustenance, deals X damage to target creature or player, you gain X life, or X number of creatures you control. Hanged Executioner, flying, when it enters battlefield, create a 1/1 with flying, and pay 4 and exile it, exile target creature. Despark, exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. Exposed to Daylight, destroy target artifact or enchantment, scry 1. Hour of Reckoning has Convoke, and you destroy all non-token creatures, which will help you a lot because most of your creatures will be tokens. March of Souls, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller puts a 1/1 with flying into play. You'll just get a ton of token creatures, and that'll probably benefit you a lot. And Mass Calcify, destroy all non-white creatures, and since all your spirits are going to be white, they won't get destroyed. Lastly, we've got lands. Cradle of the Cursed, taps are colorless, or if you pay 3 and sacrifice her, create a 2/2. Foundry of the Councils, taps are colorless, or you pay 5 and sacrifice it, and tap it. You create 2 1/1s with flying. Spawning Bed, taps are generic. If you pay 6 and sacrifice it, put 3 1/1s onto the battlefield. They also have sacrifice it to add a generic to your mana pool. Scoured Barrens, enters battlefield tapped, you gain a life, and it taps are white or black. And Forsaken Sanctuary and Orzhov Guildgate are the same, so you just don't gain the life. And you have 15 swamps and 15 plains. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. and have a great day.